Let's get started. Let me start sharing the screen. Okay, so a quick recap about yesterday's one. So the recap is yesterday we were talking about the .NET framework and what is the connection between .NET framework and PowerShell and the evolution of PowerShell from 1.0 to 7.0 and how it become open source and how powerful it is. All those things, and also we have seen like what all the operating system supported, not supported, why we need to know that, and it's not mandatory to know all those. Uh, it's not mandatory to know all those numbers, but it is just mandatory to know the concepts. All those things we have seen, and we also answered the question: what is the difference between Windows PowerShell and Windows Command Line? So even though it looks like a command prompt, we explained it is completely different. And then whatever the commands we are running in the PowerShell is not exactly the same command. It's an alias, and then whatever we are typing as an alias will be actually another PowerShell command, actual PowerShell command, and then that will be converted to .NET framework and will get executed. So that is what we discussed, and we understand both are completely two different things, and that are all the things. And we started exploring how to discover something that we do not know. Like for example, how to get a help. All we know at the beginning of the course is only one command, which is get hyphen help. And then from there we understand how to get, and we have an objective, and we slowly discovered everything, and we finally understood what is the command. So that is what yesterday we were seeing, right? The get hyphen help, and then we also given how to I mean, we also finding the help, and these are the things we have seen. The examples, hyphen full, and hyphen online, and show window, all those things. Like it is like how to say. Let's say you are purchasing a new camera, okay, a new camera, and you are into a photography, and your thing is let's say you are and whenever you are getting a new camera, you will be also getting a very good manual, right? It will be giving all the details about how effectively you can use all of that or that particular camera. But mostly we'll be starting with the basic things: how to open the shutter, how to fix the lenses, how to turn it on, how to charge the battery. Those are all the mandatory things. So and then once we get started exploring the the basics, then we will be go to the, let's say, in spite of automatic mode, we will be changing to the manual mode or TV mode. Lot of modes will be there, and we can fine tune. Like with a default option, if you are using a camera, let's say Canon or anything, you will be having a very good picture, and you will be able to take picture, and the picture will also be, the output is actually also good, and your whole purpose of taking picture with a professional camera is already completed. But once you got comfortable with that, you will be start exploring more and more options. Like there will be a small lock for just to lock in the exact position so the camera will not move, and then how to actually fix it with a longer lens, and then what exactly angle you should take to give somebody let's say you wanted to show somebody with the greatest like a hero or like a leader or anyone. You need to take the camera from the bottom to the top, so that you will be, the camera will be at the in the leg. And then if you want to show somebody very small, or like not equal, or a kind of villain, but that shade, you need to actually take it from the top, so that they will be shown as a little bit lower than. So these are things will be coming later, but the point is, here this examples full, all these are as I said, the basic things, what are the things you require in the day-to-day life. And once you start getting, this familiarity, then you will be actually knowing what is online show window parameter, and it is not related to only the get help. Whatever the camera example I have given, right, it is for the complete PowerShell itself. Okay, not only one command, it is for the complete PowerShell. So whatever we are learning will be, as I said, will be focusing right directly to your practical thing that you will be actually working on your real-time environment. So, and that is not necessary and not mandatory to know each and everything. I mean, before taking your first snap, it is not at all mandatory for you to go ahead and learn completely everything about the camera, and then you need to go and take your first shot, right? So exactly similarly, you need to learn what are the basic things, and then once you get familiar, hands-on, and then you can go and explore. So for an example, yesterday we learned about a get help, and then we started about examples, full all those things. And in future you'll be seeing what is online show window parameters, and there is, I'm not going to explain you, and that is not required. Also, you actually understand yourself, and you know how to actually find it and then use it in future. Okay, so that's the whole point. So, being said that, let's move on to the recap. Finally, there is a command. Let's open the PowerShell. Okay, here is one of an important tip or in other words, very important point that needs to be remembered. So whenever you are opening PowerShell, it can be in your computer, in your local machine, or your server, or anywhere. Make sure you right click and click on Run as Administrator. So is there any particular reason for running as administrator? Yes. Whenever we are opening, just let's say I just click on start and then type PowerShell and then click on PowerShell, it's opening. You see at the top, there is a difference. It says administrator and then colon for Windows PowerShell. This is just Windows PowerShell. The difference between here and here is this is kind of the normal user, okay, whoever has a few limitations, and then for an example, let's say you wanted to access or rename something in the Windows, see Windows as a system 32, you wanted to rename a file. If you try to do it from this window, it will not allow you. It will say your access is denied. But when you do it from the exact same thing from here, you are the whole administrator and you will be able to do it without any problem. And that is just an example. So the what I'm trying to communicate here is whenever you are open as an administrator. So sometimes you whatever you are trying to do, for an example, you are trying to connect to your let's say 5 computers or 10 computers, and then you are trying to retrieve a particular information, a registry key or something. Okay, let's say your objective is to connect 5 remote computers, and then you wanted to read a particular registry and a registry key, and what is the value in that. And let's say you write an excellent piece of code, and then you are executing the script, and the script, everything will be fine, and you check the versions and all those things are right, still you will not get the result. Since you are running in the script, you might also not get the error as well sometimes. Okay? And if it is related to access, it might not also, most of the time 50-50 chances you will get error and you will not get error. So we will not be knowing where exactly the problem is, and I have seen a lot of people doing that mistake in real time. Even I do that mistake. When I try to run some things, I'll be very confused. Everything is right, but it is not working. But finally I'll be just making this one simple mistake. I'm not running as an administrator. I don't have administration right. And this is, I'm talking about the local administrator. Let's say you wanted to connect to Exchange server or SharePoint or those kind of thing or Windows. In that case, you will be like I mean, in any organization, you will be having two kind of access. One is your regular account. Let's say the one that you will be logging into your computer and access your things, and there will be an admin account as well, right? So this is where you'll be having your actual administrator and account. Let's say it can be Active Directory or DNS or IAS, whatever the domain you are, AWS or Azure, anything. You will be given a different administration. I mean, that's not mandatory. You need to have two accounts. Okay, this is something your normal employee account, okay, where you will be checking your all your pay details or all those things. And this is the one you will be accessing and then doing things, right? And in all the organization, it is not mandatory. They will be giving two accounts, but if it is a best practice, if they give two things. So in that case, when I say run as administrator, you right click on it and then make sure either you log in into the machine itself with this particular admin account, or you run this particular Windows PowerShell with this admin account, so that whatever the access required to do something, any kind of access with AD or DNS, only accessible with this account, and you will be able to do it. So that's the point. Hope that makes sense, and then we will be moving to the next one. And I'm showing this command in the PPT. Okay, let's say you don't know what is this command at all. So how you will be getting the help? Yesterday we have seen, right? Get hyphen help. That's the only, just let's say that is master key for anything. Okay, like so if you know that one particular command and if you are able to remember that, that's a master key to explore any kind of thing. Now we are going to do the same thing. Get hyphen help, update hyphen help. It's gonna give a lot of things, but I'll be getting the synopsis here. So it will download and install the new help files on your computer. So what does that mean? So that it does means two things. Microsoft has an online copy of the help files, and it's a kind of how we download the PowerShell. Similarly, they will keep on updating it. Particularly, let's say you are moving from PowerShell 7.0 to 7.1, those same kind of thing. Sometimes, if you are already connected, okay, let's to the internet. If you just type get hyphen help, and if you are already connected to the internet, it will detect automatically there is an update available, and you will see update, it is updating like this. It will be just keep on going in a green color, and finally it will update, then only it will show the help. So if you wanted to do it manually, there is an update available, or you think the help is not updated for some reason, then this is the command to do it. And this is just to give an information, this is something you will not use that very much, but here we go. Just hit enter and let's wait. You see, this is what I say. You see downloading what all the helping content. It's keep on going just like a progress bar. Finally, it will say based on whether it's already updated or not. It is checking everything. If it is already updated, it might give an error. Like everything is updated and nothing to worry, or just nothing to update. It might be showing as an error. While it is running, let's go to other commands. Similarly, there will be lot of commands. Okay, as I said, we started with 128 commands in PowerShell 1.0. Now we have more than 2,000, 3,000 commands in PowerShell 1.0, and there is not even single reason why you should remember any commands other than get hyphen help. Okay, so if at all you wanted to remember any command, that's the only command you need to remember. Okay. Let's go on and then move to the command-led structure and syntax. You're going to see about the structure. So what is the structure? For an example, let's say we have seen so far what all the commands we have. Okay, I said, right, failed to update help. These are all the things it related to, let's say some modules are there and it is not updated or it already updated, all those things. And you don't have to worry about it. And then let's clear the screen and then let's move on to the actual command structure. Okay. Now, yesterday we were seeing get hyphen help, and then we also seeing we just now seen update hyphen help, right? And then we also see yesterday's we are seeing get hyphen service, and then just because I cleared the screen, I'm typing it again, get hyphen help. Now, if you see in all the command, it is just, the command is separated with hyphen, right? So let's take a note of what all the common things we have in the command line structure. So one thing is there is a hyphen, right? Middle. Okay, so that is one structure that is going to be there in all the command lines. And uh, let's say yesterday we said let's say dir is a command and then we are typing it. We might argue like dir is a command, right? But it doesn't have hyphen. What did I say yesterday is dir is not actual PowerShell command, it's an alias, right? Yesterday we have seen get hyphen alias and then dir. If you hit enter, you'll be seeing what is this alias is. This is again get hyphen child item. So even though we type dir, this is not a PowerShell command. This is the PowerShell command letter. Okay. So the point is everything will be having, I mean, all the commandlets will be having a hyphen in the middle. And then it's actually, if you see the pattern, okay. If you see the pattern, let's say update, here get and then here also get. Now I'm going to try this command because I know get hyphen service is giving all the services. I just wanted to make sure I'm able to type get hyphen services. I'm adding at the end s so that I get. I'm assuming if it is plural, it will be giving all the services, and I hit enter, and it says get hyphen services is not recognized. Let's try to get something else. Get alias, right? I type get alias and then I type aliases and hit enter. Again, I'm getting error. The point is, it's not only noun, it's singular noun. So that comes to the structure of the command lot of any particular command in PowerShell, and that's gonna be verb hyphen singular noun. And when I say singular noun, it is the universal rule. It will never change for anything, AD or AWS or anything. Okay, so it's gonna be the same thing. Let's say you are gonna get all the Active Directory users. It will not be get hyphen Active Directory users. It will be Active Directory user. Okay. So similarly, it will not be get hyphen AD computers. It will be just get hyphen computers. Similarly, it will not be get hyphen virtual disk. It will be just virtual disk. So those are all the things. So that is what the command line structure is. And let's see here. Set, get, new, add, remove, all those things will be verb, and then it will be starting with a verb. And service, process, everything, almost everything will be noun, and then that is how it will be. Okay. And about prefixes used, this is something you don't have to worry as of now. We have something called a separate topic for this, which is called PS drives. And okay, PS, I'll just type it so that you know what I'm talking about. It means PS drives. Okay, how we have, let's say, uh, drivers for let's say we are installing a new hardware, we will be having the drivers, right? Similarly, we will be having some kind of drives through which we can access little bit more information about that particular hardware or software. As of now, you don't have to know about that, and just know we are going to see that in future. So that is what the command that structure, and then let's move on to the next one. Okay, now we are gonna see something very important, and let's say I would say this is the cornerstone of the complete PowerShell itself. Okay, so we are gonna start now, and we are gonna see about PowerShell objects and pipeline. Don't worry about pipeline, and we are gonna see first about PowerShell objects. Okay, so let's say before we go to the PowerShell objects, okay, we will see about let's say this one, motorbike or a cycle. Okay, so let's say if you wanted to explain to a 3-year-old girl how a motorcycle will be looking and what it will be doing. So I wanted to two things. One is how it will look like, okay, or you wanted to explain it to a 3-year-old girl or somebody, your colleague or anyone. You wanted to give some details about this particular one, and you also wanted to say what are all the things you can do with this particular one. Answer will be like whether it will be a brand name will be just a name, okay. And if I ask whether it is a diesel or petrol, you can say either yes or no, binary. And then if I ask the price, it might be some value, those kind of things. So it has a definite value, and let's say if I ask a brand name, it has some answer for that. If I ask the color, it has some answer for that. So now, what all the things can be done with that? That is the functions or methods. We say officially these details are called properties. Okay, remember this word properties, and then what all the things we can do with this, that is called functions or methods. Okay, remember these two things. Okay, so when I say functions, what are the things that we can, let's say if it is a automatic bike, I can use power on and off, I can drive, blow horn, turn on the light and turn it off, all those things. So these are all the things I can do with that particular cycle, I mean motorcycle, right? These are all the functions I can do, all the methods. Okay, methods, you don't have to relate it as of now. Just know functions and methods are just another name, like how we see how we say commandlets is equals to commands. Similarly, functions is equals to method. Okay, now that is a generic thing that we know, motorcycle, car and everything. Let's go to a printer. So let's say we want to give the same kind of properties and functions. When I say properties, again, properties means just the details about it, and then functions is what can be done with that particular object. Okay, now again, you you see I'm mentioning this as an object. Okay, what can be done, what all the details about this motorcycle is an object. Here the printer is an object, right? I mean, when I say object, the complete world itself, filled with objects, right? Let's say you are using your camera. Let's say you are using your mobile. It is an object. If you are using your laptop, it is an object. And everything, every single thing will be having these two things. One is the properties, that is the details about it, and the second thing is function. What can we do with that, right? So not only this, everything in the life will be having these called as properties, and we can differentiate these things. Now let's take the printer, whether it's a black and white or color printer, and what is a brand name, what is a color of the printer, white or gray, red, or what kind of thing, what is the size, whether a small size, big size, or those kind of A4, A5, and some banner size, all those things. And what is the cost? These are all the details about this printer. And what can be done? Let's say I purchase that. Now, what are the things I can do with that? I can print. I can sometimes there will be a multifunctional printer. Okay, it will called multi-purpose printer. It will have scan and Xerox and then print, and you can also sometimes send fax as well. So all those four things will be there. So whether that option is there, scan is there, Xerox is there, power on, off, all those things, right? And sometimes if the printer is stuck or we want to reset something, there will be reset button there, and we can reset the printer. So these are the things I can do with that. Again, that's the second example. Now let's slowly move to the actual IT. Okay, now we are talking about one is the general thing in our day-to-day life. Second, little bit about the printers. That is something again the non-IT thing. Finally, let's talk about this one, the Active Directory users, right? And if you open any Active Directory users, now you could see the same pattern. For example, first name, you see the first name, last name, display name, description, office. All these things are very equivalent to this whatever we just seen, right? Details, right? Very exactly related to this, and these are all called properties. And not only for a user, it can be a computer or anything. If you just right click on it and open it, it will be just giving everything about that, and you can see that. What are the things? Let's say I right click on the user in Active Directory users. I can create a user. I can rename that user from here in this panel. I can modify his email address. I can modify his group, what all the group he is belongs to. I can also delete, right? So I can create, rename, delete, modify, and that is usually called CURD, which is stands for create, update, read, and delete. And this is actually in a universal operation. Whatever we are doing in IT, this is what we will be actually doing. It can be anything. Let's say you are actually doing a report. Let's say you want to generate a report. Okay, report about all the computers. What you are doing actually, you are reading the things, right? Let's say you wanted to create 100 users using PowerShell. What we are doing actually, we are creating it. Let's say you want to rename or change a value, okay, value of a registry key. That means there is already a value and you are modifying it. Means we are updating that particular value. Fourth one is, let's say you wanted to delete a particular thing. It can be anything. Let's say a file. Okay, let's say you wanted to delete a particular file in a folder which starts with or ends with a .exe. That is a delete operation. If you see anything, whatever you are doing, it will be everything will be covered into this CURD, and CURD is nothing but create, update, read, and delete. And if you again come back to our actual command line things, most of the things you'll be seeing related to these things. What is get? It will be actually coming here, right? Get. Most of the things we will be getting it. To change anything, most of the time we will be using set. So to get, this is to read, and set is mostly to change something. And to create, it depends on what kind of thing we are actually doing. It can be starting with the new, or I mean just an example. So this is new hyphen something, okay, but you don't have to remember or anything. I'm just giving you an example how it is actually connecting here. Okay, here remove, or let's say as of now remove, so that is what Now, if you see all the commands, okay, in the PowerShell will be actually falling into these four categories, and then how effectively we are using with the PowerShell script, that is how we will be seeing in our upcoming sessions. And now let's move on to the next one, which is discovering object. We'll move first thing, okay. What are the facts we understand? We'll just go one by one. PowerShell is an object oriented program scripting language, okay. What is that? I'll be showing it, okay, but as of now I'll be showing it, okay. Let's say we open get hyphen service, right? Now hit enter. You'll be seeing lot of services, right? All these, each and every services are considered as an each and every single object, okay. When I say, whenever you think object, even though it is virtual, service is something virtually running, we cannot see the service, right? I mean, we say, we can see, but actually it is not a physical thing, right? But still everything in the PowerShell is an object. So I repeat again, PowerShell is an object oriented thing, and everything in PowerShell is considered as or objects. Just keep it simple. Everything in PowerShell or objects. Okay. Now, before I get into that, I will show you that. Now we understood these things, right? Properties and methods. I'll be showing that one by one. Now, the first claim I made here is PowerShell is an object-oriented program, and then everything is a PowerShell object. So how do we know whether this get hyphen service, I'm saying this particular get hyphen service, whatever it is returning is, all the results are an objects. How do I actually prove that? Let's type get hyphen service. Yesterday we got print spooler, right? Let's type get hyphen service. So this is a object, okay. How we are gonna check whether it is an object? I'm gonna use this symbol. Do you know what is this symbol? Anyone? Roy or this? What is this symbol is called? Separator, filter. Okay, both are correct answer, but from now onwards we are gonna call it officially, okay, as pipeline. We are going to see what is pipeline, but as of now, I mean, this is the word we will be using from now onwards, and whenever we say pipeline, this is this one, okay. And make sure you remember this word and use it while you are talking to somebody else or in the interviews, all those things, so that they know you are actually talking about this one. This is itself, second next very important topic related to object. Now we are in the process of showing whether it is an object or not. Now I said an object will having properties and methods, right? So I'm gonna check that whether it has some properties or methods, and the command for that is, remember this command, this is gonna be very, very helpful. Not only now, once you get everything about a complete PowerShell knowledge, you become very expert in that. Still, you will be requiring this particular command. I'll be saying you why. This is actually called object exploring command. Means it will go take the object and then it will give what are all the properties, what are all the methods, what are all the things inside that particular inside that particular object, it will list out for you in detail, right? So now let's see this one by one slowly. Before that, I'll just explain what exactly this pipeline do. It is getting get hyphen service spooler will be getting this particular print spooler service, and then we are piping it to pipeline is the one I said, right? So we are piping it to get hyphen member, and get hyphen member, I just said it's a command to list all the object properties and methods, ev- everything, etc. Okay. And this command is a universal command. It means it will not only work for get hyphen service, it will work for anything, any object you pipeline to get hyphen member, it will give you all the details. Now let's go one by one. First thing is it's giving me the type. Type is nothing but let's say we say it is a motorbike and then it is a printer, all those things, right? Similarly, this is the service, okay, and this is officially called or officially identified with this particular name. Even though we say it is a service, in our colloquial language and then administration language, this name is used in the .NET framework. Okay, whatever we are seeing, right? This is all something coming from the .NET framework. But don't worry about .NET framework. From now onwards, let's say .NET framework and PowerShell both are hand to hand. So if you are everything is coming from .NET framework, we already know that. So this is the name of that particular one, official name. Okay, and then what are the things it gives? It gives some name and what is a member type and some definition about that particular thing. Okay, definition is something like a help sort of thing, just give you some clue about what can be done with that. Now before we go through all these names, just see what are the member types, and in that first we will see the property. Property, we have lot of properties, we have lot of methods. Let's see any one property which makes sense without any knowledge about the service. Let's say display name, right? Display name of a service is a property, and do you agree it is a property? Okay. Similarly, in which machine it is actually running, it is again a property, right? It has nothing to do with the function, or it has nothing to do with that particular service. These are all the things actually giving some information about that particular object. Okay. Now, first point is, since we have properties and methods, and as I said, in complete entire world, everything is object. Similarly, in PowerShell, everything is object. And how to, see what are the things inside that particular object? This is how we will be seeing. And why we should see what are the things within this, I'll say next. Before that, we know the property and then we know the methods. Okay. Now you see alias property and alias and then another thing called event. Okay, alias property from the name itself. Okay, what are the name we are saying, right? Display name. And alias property is the name is actually the display name or the service name. It says what is the alias of that particular thing. So this is something you don't have to actually not even worry about it. Okay, from now onwards, if you're checking something, don't worry about this. Event also something you don't have to worry about now. Okay, we'll have a different thing. As of now, you'll be just only seeing method and property. We'll be focusing only on method and properties. Now, I said get hyphen member is a universal thing to list and then explore the, any object, right? Now we proven, okay, this is an object because it has property, and this is has some methods. Means I can read some value from this particular service. I can do something with that. What are the things we can do with motorcycle? As I said, turn on, off, printer, we can print with an Active Directory users, we can delete, create. Similarly, what are the things we can do with this particular service is what the methods are. First, we can start a service, right? We can stop a service, we can pause a service, we can, let's say, I don't think the other things will be something you will be using. Okay, if I mean if we pause, the other command to continue is just to unpause it and then make it run again. So now we have a clear idea what all the things we can do. Okay, now let's take the same. I mean, I said where we will be using this, right? Let's come to that part of it. Now, this is the scenario. Okay, unknown object, and you wanted to do something with that. Okay, let's say you wanted to read some property, particular property. Okay, when I say particular property, something related to that one, and then not all the properties of that one particular single one. Okay, and I want to do, okay, or let's say perform some operation, or let's say function within using that object. So this is the scenario. Okay, you are, let's say now you are an IT admin. Who you are? You are an IT administrator. And what is the scenario? Your manager is asking you, let's say there is a new software or a new some kind of let's say new software is introduced. Okay, and you wanted to know what all the things it has, and you wanted to know what are all the things inside that, because that is a new, you don't know what is that, and you want to read a particular property from that particular software or the hardware. So to, for an easy usage, let's say we just connect a new kind of hardware, okay, which is support, which will have, which is supported by PowerShell. Okay, means it has its own .NET properties. Okay, now that is the object we are talking about. We connect a physical hardware, and we want to read a particular thing. Let's say I'm connecting an external hard disk. Okay, and I want to understand what is the vendor, who is the vendor of that particular object. That is what I wanted to know. That is the particular property, and what is the function I want to do? I want to format that particular one so that I can start using it. Now I have no clue what is the name, exact name. Okay, name of the property, which will be actually saying what is the who's, or who's the manufacturer of that particular one. Okay, that, and I need that one. And the second thing is how, what is the exact method name to format it, right? I don't know what, how to format. To, for both of these things I need to explore, right? So let's say let's just, for an example, let's say get hyphen, we have seen service, right? So let's take process. Okay, imagine this is we want to know all about this particular one. Okay, get hyphen process. The command is get hyphen member. Okay, and I'm typing this get hyphen member and hit enter, and I could see everything. since we don't have an external hard disk, I'm just giving another thing as an example. Okay, let's say it can be get hyphen external hard disk if that is the command, and if you pipe it to the get member, now you will be able to see the property. In that, I'll be able to, let's say this is the vendor name for an example, or here machine name, that is the property. Now I know the machine name, and I also know whether I can do something with that format. What is the exact command to format, right? So how exactly use it, we will be seeing that later. That will be coming in different thing. For an example, let's say, let's take any one of the, okay, Acropod reader 32, right? Let's take that process, clear the screen, and then get hyphen process, and then hit enter. I have two of them. So what can be done? I wanted to check, so I type get hyphen member and hit enter. And what all the things can be done? I'm just checking. I can start. It's already there, started. Can I kill? Yes, I can kill. Okay, that is something I can do. Let's say. mm, Okay. You know what? That will overwhelm you. Okay. So as of now, we'll stop. Currently, as of now, we'll just keep this because we are seeing a lot of concepts now, right? So one takeaway I want you to take in this particular session. One is PowerShell is an object-oriented scripting language. Everything is an object, and this is the very important takeaway. Get hyphen member, and whenever we are seeing, we will be seeing method and property. And don't worry about events or alias property, all those things. That is not gonna be useful for in your day-to-day life. And I also given you some kind of scenario. You have some unknown object, and this is how you'll be exploring, and then using that you'll be actually finding what is the property, exact name of the property, exact method to do it. How exactly to use it, I'll show you how exactly. Let's say I have seen it, now I'm going to kill, let's say the same thing. Okay, here it's about the unknown object is nothing but a process, and I want to get a particular property of that, but let's say not manufacturer name, something else. Here I have a lot of properties, right? Let's say what is okay, here what is the memory size it is actually using, or let's say, yeah, memory size should be fine, right? I want to read the memory size, and then I want to kill this particular one. We are talking about the objects, and we know objects, everything in PowerShell is object. Get hyphen member will be giving my all the list of properties as well as methods. Now my objective is this one: read some particular property and then perform some option. So what is that particular property? I want to read the virtual memory size, and I want to perform some function, that is killing. Okay, kill that particular process. Why I'm using the process? Because process is something you can also try in your laptop, instead of even though I give the example of external hard disk. uh, this is something we can do it right away, so that I'm just going to show you. So again, let's clear the screen. Let's type the command again, get hyphen service, and pipe it to get hyphen member and hit enter. And from here, what are the things I grabbed? Sorry, uh, my mistake. Get hyphen process. So what are the things I grabbed? One is virtual memory size. Okay, I got it. Another one is kill is the method. Kill will actually kill that particular process. Okay, now I wanted to go ahead and do it, and how to do it. Now, if you see here, get hyphen process, okay, and I'm piping it to get hyphen member, and hit enter. I'm getting only one result, okay, meaning all these process are kind of same. All the process will be having the same kind of member types. When I say member type, everything will be having something. Let's say, I mean, each and every process will have a virtual memory size, virtual memory, this 64-bit, and then what is a company name and CPU description, file version, all these things will be available for any property, I mean, any process, right? So for an example, let's say, um, you are going to a bank, okay, and then you will be having a form, okay, and you want to deposit something, or you will be having this, and they will be have a bunch of forms, right? And each and every form will be having like some kind of questions, let's say some few details it will be collecting. But before filling that, if you see all the forms, they will be identically the same thing will be there, right? What is your name? What is how much amount you are going to do, and then how in what denomination, and your signature and everything. But once you take and write it, okay, now let's say, okay, so you get one form for you, and then you are filling all the detail with something, okay. Now this is again, this is kind of a template, right? A template, and then you take the template and then you fill it with all your information. So even though this is something unique for you, all these details are unique for you, the properties, whatever you are filling, right? This is all from here, this from this template. Let's say I'm also taking the same form, and if I'm filling, all these details will be changing. It can be my name, it can be my whatever the money I'm depositing, and whatever the things are. Okay, this will change, but whatever the property name, okay, in this side, it will not change for anyone, right? It will be constant for everyone, and this is that is the same template, right? So similarly, imagine this is not, I mean, imagine the same thing, okay? Let's say this is a service template, okay? And it will have all these things. What are the things it will have? All, whatever the things we say, right? These are all the things all the services will be having. But when we open a particular service, we will be seeing that particular service related information. So let's say get hyphen process, okay, and get hyphen member will be actually giving what all the field are common for all the services, only this information, okay. It will not give any values at all, A or B or anything, okay. And it, let's say get hyphen process, as hit enter, and I now get hyphen process. Okay, so acropod get hyphen process, okay, and then I put this particular service, okay, and hit enter. So what is happening? It is fetching the value of that particular process and giving, instead of giving all those things. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I want to check whether this particular service, okay, it's very similar to, I take this one form and then I'm comparing whether this form has all these fields, whatever the template has. So how I will be checking that? Again, get hyphen member. I just curious whether this particular process or every process will have its own methods and member types. So I just hit enter. If you see, it will have exactly the same kind of members, the same alias property, same what all the things we have seen kill, right? This is also there, and we have seen virtual memory, right? So to clearly again to rephrase, if you type this one, okay, you take one particular object and then if you explore using get hyphen member, or if you take a bunch of, if you just type get hyphen process, it's gonna get all the bunch of processes running in your computer, but still you will be getting the template for the process, not for all the things. Let's say there are 100 processes running. If you type get hyphen member, you will not get the same information 100 times. It will just, you will be getting only one template. That's the template, as I said here, right? This is what you will be getting. Hope that is that clear. I mean, is that confusing? Do you want to explain more on that? These two will be giving the same output. Okay, there is no change. Now, what is my objective? Again, I'm coming to the practical objective. What is my objective? I want to do two things. One is the process I'm interested in is Acrobat, okay, Acrobat Reader, and then I want to get only the virtual memory, okay, and then I want to kill. So how do I do that? First, get hyphen process, whatever the name, okay, this name I got it from, let's start from the beginning. Get hyphen process, okay, I don't know what is the name for the Acrobat, so I type AC and enter. Now I see the process name, I see this is the name, so I copy it, and now I'm narrowing down with the exact name, and now I have two things. And let's say I want to know only this particular, or let's say I wanted to know both Acrobat readers, which is nothing but this one. Okay, we opened the course curriculum, right? So this is what we are gonna kill. Before that, we want to read the information, which is virtual memory size. And where did I get this? I get it using get hyphen member. I mean, you know the result. So now get hyphen process Acrobat reader, and I'm putting a colon for a complete command, meaning whatever the result we are getting, right? We are getting this result, and we are gonna, you know, put into a kind of box sort of thing. Okay, we are putting a brace brackets here and here, and then put a dot. Okay, to do anything with the properties or the methods, this is how we will be doing. You will be actually putting a dot, and then you will be mentioning whatever the name. What is the name? We want virtual memory, and then I hit enter. I'm getting the information, whatever the thing I want to read. Okay, I can get more detail and get only one Acrobat reader's virtual memory, but the point is, as of now, we are just checking how to get a particular information from a particular process or a particular object. So we got it. Okay, we have done it. So what is it? What are the things we did? We put up brackets and then we also put a dot followed by this name, whatever we just copied. If you make a spelling mistake or anything, it will be not giving anything. So it's better always to copy instead of just type. So one thing. Now, okay, now I got it, and then let's assume I'm running in a computer uh, in a in a server. I'm running this, and I see this is taking lot of memory. I wanted to kill these two processes. So I checked the virtual memory is high. So now I'm going to kill both of them. Okay. Again, whatever we wanted to do, put a dot and what is the command? We know kill. Okay. I just copy, paste, followed by these two brackets. Okay. If you see, this is the main difference. When we are doing getting a property, we are not putting the brackets. When we are using the method or a function, we are using the property. That is the only difference. And other than that, we are just putting the brackets and then dot, and then we are just try to execute. Let's see whether it's killing. Now we don't get any result, right? So this is apart from everything, just common information about the PowerShell itself. Okay, but very important information. Whenever we are typing something or whenever we are executing something in PowerShell, if it is successful, okay, this is very important. Okay, PowerShell console. One is we execute, and result can be either binary, right? One is success, and another one is execute, and then it is failed. If it is success, it will return nothing. Okay, you will not see anything. It will be just blank screen. Okay, and if it is only getting failed, we will be or warning or anything. Then only you will be getting the notification. Okay, so you will not see like this is killed or those kind of information. Nothing will be there. It will just go kill and then it will be keep quiet. It will return nothing for you. So that is the important thing. Not only for this one, anything. Whenever a command is getting successfully executed, it will return nothing. And if something is failing or something is stopping that to success, it will give the exact information. Using that, you will be actually troubleshooting this. Now, since it killed and then we are not getting anything, I assume it successfully killed. How do I verify whether they both are killed or not? What would be the command? Let's try that. Okay, and then what is the information I'm getting? Cannot find a process with a name. Okay, verify the process is successful. I mean, is there or not? Means okay, it is not there. I understood. Okay, let's say get hyphen process this one and hit enter. And again, you see the same kind of information. Okay, so you can either go with this one. Okay, since in this flow, in this example, actually we are using this command. Okay, I mean this particular command, right, with virtual memory, and then so you are using this command. In case if we are not calling any virtual memory or anything, in that case we should be only using. I mean the best practice is to use this. Okay, because this is something in the flow we were doing, right? So in spite of this, yeah, this will work 100% work. We are getting the result, but in spite of this, do this. This will be the let's say best practice. Okay. There is nothing wrong with this, but this will be the best practice. Now I want to see with my own eyes another way to check that AC and hit enter. Do I see anything? No, nothing called starting with the Acrobat. Okay, this is also another way. So how to verify? This is how to verify either the complete name or just whatever the starting. And what is the command we tried? This is the one. Okay. Now, do you remember what is the command I ran to get all these number of commands? To help you, I got all these things, right? Do you remember what is the command I ran? I execute. History is the command which will be giving every commands that you have run so far. Okay. And it will also give you 1, 2, 3, all those things. So that history is the command. Let's say history will give you all the success and failure, all the commands. Okay. In the console, when I say console, in this particular window, let's say I close this window, okay, and if I open it again, I can't see this. Let's close this. So let's open PowerShell again. Right click as administrator and yes. Okay, now let's type the same history. Hit enter. If you see, all those are lost because that history will be only stored only in that particular console. And once the console is killed and open it again, you will not be having any of these things. So what if I wanted to capture all those things and I wanted to keep them so that I know what all the commands I did. It will be mostly helpful, let's say, when you are troubleshooting something. Okay. When we start troubleshooting something and then you execute lot of commands, let's say you are troubleshooting something in Azure. Okay, you are trying to fix a particular Azure VMware. Virtual machine, and it is not starting. You are executing a lot of commands, and then you needed to have a track of it, right? You should know what all the things you tried so that you can at least undo if it is not working, right? So for that and for other purpose, let's say I want to learn something, okay, and I want to whatever the things I'm typing, I want to put together so that whenever I want to refer it back. So since history will actually get destroyed once the console is closed, I'm going to use another command, and the command is start hyphen transcript. Again, start hyphen transcript. Give any particular name for that. Okay, let's say today's name or your name or anything. Okay, let's say I'm gonna say day 2 txt and hit the enter. Now you see it says transcript started and output file is here. Okay, and then I type cls dir get hyphen process get hyphen service cls history, and I could see everything. Okay, fine. Now I'm gonna end this. Okay, first thing is I should kind of stop the same thing I started, so I stop hyphen transcript You don't have to type what is the name. If you just type hit and hit enter, it will be giving where is the file, and you will be actually able to open it. Just copy and paste, open. You see lot of information almost. Okay, who ran it, what time. This is nothing but the year, month, date, those kind of things. Okay, runners, administrator, those kind of things. Who's running as that, and from what machine, all these information. That is all. As of now, don't have to worry about it. Now, this is where it is actually started. Okay, it started, and you see CLS, DIR. The important note is you don't not only see the commands, you also see the result. Not only the successful result, you will also see the failed result as well. So it means whatever the console is actually giving, okay, it will all captured, and then you will be actually having kind of a complete information whatever happened in that particular console, okay, without missing any information. So this is very useful when you are learning or troubleshooting, or whenever the troubleshooting is something usually I'll be using, but for you it will be like to start and then stop will be using when you are learning something, so that you know what are the commands you running. So you understood about the transcript? Yes. All right. Okay, now i I'm doing, let's say I close to this. Okay, in history. Okay, that's since I typed history in the capital letter. Question is PowerShell case sensitive or not? If I type capitals, will it work, or should it be, for example, C, Java, everything, they are all case sensitive. Okay? Case sensitive means if a command starts with a capital letter, it should start, and if you just start with a small letter, it will give an error. So it's not case sensitive. So, but now, okay, I have seen this one, and I'm gonna do one thing. Okay, I just start transcript again. Okay, just by mistake. Okay, what is happening, whatever it is already doing, right, or it was already doing, it actually will be stopped, and it will create it in a default place, which is usually in your document. Okay, create a new script, and then it will be automatically, even though you don't give any file name, it will be actually doing it, and you can still do it. And let's say I type something and I'm getting error, and let's say get hyphen process uh, alias, hit enter, and then I'm I'm not stopping it actually. Okay, so let's say first of all I'll copy this location, and then I'm closing it before stopping. I just closed it by mistake. Now I'm gonna open it, and you will see it will automatically capture everything, meaning you don't have to, the takeaway is you don't have to stop it manually, but definitely you need to start. Unless until you start, it will not capture anything. And if you just type without the name, just if you start hyphen transcript, and then without the name, if you hit enter, it will go to your document. Okay, but if you wanted to customize, you can always do some kind of date to example.txt, so that it will go to that particular one. So that's all for today. And again, in this session, so as I said, this is a kind of very important session. I'll just go through one more time. We are seeing about lot of objects, everything in the world is objects, and we have taken this as an example, motorcycle, and we have seen these all the properties, and then these all the functions that what can be done with this. And then we have seen this as the other examples, and we also seen CURD. CURD is create, update, read, delete. Then this is most of the time we will be doing only these type of things, and almost all the commands will be related to this CURD only. Now, coming back, we have seen, we have confirmed everything is an object-oriented thing, PowerShell. Everything is object, and get hyphen member is your, let's say get hyphen help is your master key. This is actually key for another treasure kind of thing. Okay, so these two are your actual tools should be always with you should be remembering to explore anything. Okay, without even having a single clue about any technology, anything, with just with these two things, you can, I said you right, the say a scenario without knowing anything about object, anything about the property. If you just know these two things, you will be able to explore and then do things. And how to call any kind of or call in the sense how to actually use that, just put a brackets and then dot that particular name. And if you want to do a function, dot and whatever the name and followed by brackets. And if you don't put a brackets, it will give you an error. So how to make sure it is executed, whatever you are typing here, right, just type it again and then you will be seeing whether it is done or not. And we also, I answered the question how to do it if it is AD or Exchange or Azure is not there. Two options we have given. And then we also seen if PowerShell is success, it will return nothing, and if it is failed, it will give only errors. And from there, you will start troubleshooting. We have seen the history, which will be having, and then it will be destroyed once the console is closed. So what's the alternate? Start hyphen transcript followed by the name, and you don't have to stop it, but that's always good to know to stop it. So that is how we stop. And I'll be putting this file as well in the teachable. You can refer it. And that's all for today. And then have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk tomorrow. Thanks all, guys.